Welcome back to Beekeeping Basics with Danny. So today we're going to be doing something slightly different. So we've got a good friend of mine, Hayley. She's coming around. It's her birthday today. So she's asked if she could come in this bar with me to just observe me when I'm opening up the hives. So it's Saturday today. So what I'm going to be doing is going into probably two of the hives. No, actually all three of the hives, because what I'm going to try and do is shuffle them around slightly. I want to try and downsize the hive that we've done the merge with. I feel I've got too much room and I don't need it, so I'm going to take some of the supers out of that, and we're going to introduce this on the nuke box. So we'll give them a little bit more room, and we're going to take out some of the super frames from that hive that we've merged to try and do away with at least the super, so I can smallen it down. So we take some out of that, put it into the nuke box, which could do with the room with the frames, obviously with no bees on them, but with the frames out of that into that, using this. I've got some empty frames just if I need them for whatever reason. Also, we'll be taking that in there with us. And also we've got just a normal super with some empty frames in it. We're going to take that in there as well, just if I need it, basically. So yeah, so we'll be back shortly with Hayley, and she's just going to observe. I probably won't bring the camera in looking down on the frames and what have you. I might bring it over every now and then, but it's slightly different. We're going to set it up in the corner, and it would just be a video of us just going through the hives, observing them and seeing what's what, doing the basic checks like we always do. And the last time I went into what I call hive 2 with the original queen in it, it was a bit of a rush job. We was going through it, was getting a little bit late, it was very hot, and I didn't come across the queen, and it never sits with me when I don't come across my own queen. I always like to see her, make sure that she's in there doing what she needs to do and so forth. So hopefully today we managed to see her, and obviously the one in the nuke box and so forth. So see you in a bit. Right, okay, so we're in the Aspari. So what we're going to do is we're going to start off with going into this one. We've got Hayley with us. It's her birthday today, and she wanted to come in and have a look at the bees. So that's what we're going to get round to doing. I want to shuffle a few of these around. I also want to take that off of there because it's been annoying me. Shuffle some of these around, and we'll have a look in this one first. This is what you call a super. So I want to try and, there's too much room in this hive, purely because when I moved the bees out of a box like that, in there is, I'll show you. So these are called frames. So in that box there was only 6 frames. So I could put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in here. Then I put additional empties. But as you can see, they're not working on them purely because it's not really the time for them to be working on them. But I've got 6 in here that I can take them 6 out, put into that, and then put that onto that, and then lose that. So that's the aim I'm trying to get to with this. But so obviously these are all empty. So what they would do is they effectively will build this out into the honeycomb. They'd build that out each side. So when it's so deep, that's when the queen can start laying her eggs in there. See like that there, they started building it out.
Oh yeah.
See the difference between that and that?
Yeah.
So they have to build that out like that first, which is a lot of work for a bee to do that. It's a lot of hard work.
How long does that take till you notice it, like once it's flat? And
That will take them about a week to do that. But as like next year, me being a beekeeper, I'll have frames stored in the garage from this year, which will all be combed out like that. So that kills half of my time next year.
Yeah,
because
so
I've used everything new this year, they've had to start with all of this first before they start with anything else.
Okay.
So that's why they say your first year in beekeeping is going to obviously take a lot more time, and because they're starting with a blank canvas. Next year they'll be starting with all of this that's already done for them. So you've killed half of the time. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So again, see they start, but they see that's the nectar in there. See the shiny.
Yeah, it's lovely.
Hold it. So the shiny bit in there is nectar that they've started to do. Whereas, like these ones, they've started to build the honey out on. Now I'm not worried that the queen's going to be up there, because see this cage?
Yeah.
That stops her coming up. She can't fit through there, but the workers can.
And the whole thing's doing it.
See, like that, now on that one, all of that is what's called cat brood, and that's all worker bees in there ready to hatch. The only trouble with me moving these into that onto that is I've got to get the bees off. But what I might just do is, see, if you look in there, see, like it looks like a little white maggot in there. In these ones here.
Oh yeah.
That's the start of a bee. That's called
Oh.
larvae.
Oh, so bees start as larvae.
Yeah. And then see these.
Yeah, the raised
This
bits.
is what would be what we call a play cup. And that's them practicing to build a queen cup. Now, if they wanted to produce their own queen, what they'd do is they'd fill that with royal jelly, and then they'd make that bigger. And then that's where the queen would go. But because they're only...
So when you say royal jelly, that means because you want to make a queen?
Yeah.
Yeah,
What we do is,
over each other there.
might be that, depending on how these are doing, and with what's about to hatch here, I might not be able to actually take this off and put it into that box. Sometimes you might be lucky and you might see one actually emerging out of here.
Yeah, that would be cool.
So with that. So these are, see, when one of these frames like this, when they emerge, they come out, they say there's enough bees then to cover 3 of these. So they multiply quick, and that's why you've got to, as a beekeeper, kind of act quick. Well, what we do is, for the minute, I'll just stick that to one side. I'll just put that on there. And I'm only doing this because obviously what I don't want is the queen to go moving down into this load of frames here. So I have to put that on there to stop her from doing that. So let's lift that over onto there, because the queen potentially might be in this box. And it just makes it a lot easier to go through this like I say, and then when that goes on, then bees would then move down. If I'd done it the other way around, done that first, then bees are going to go down in there, then I'm going to move that off, and I'm going to have double the amount of bees in there,
Right.
which you don't particularly want. So I think me actually doing what I wanted to do to free up some room, I don't think I'll be able to. Right, so that's just all honey on there. And they're starting to cap it off, and all they'll do is, because this is the very last one, it doesn't get worked on as much, but bees generally work from the middle up and out. But this is the brood area, which is mostly, I'm just going to take that off, is mostly what the queen works with doing her egg laying and that, you know what I mean? They don't work with, they do honey, but she's more concentrating on, there's not so many bees on that, I'm just against this. There's not that many bees on there. Yeah, so they generally concentrate on laying eggs and what have you in this particular area. Although they do the honey in here. So again, like, that's just all mostly honey on that. And you feel the weight of that.
Oh yeah.
This is obviously a bigger frame.
Yeah, you can really
And
notice
it's
it.
Or even like this one where it's got the honey on it again. This one she's starting to, what I haven't done is made sure that we could potentially have the queen on some of these. So let me put this one back in, and she's certainly not on this. You'd see her, she'd have a green dot on her.
Green dot.
And she potentially may be in that one there anyway. Again, she's not on here. And where I've pulled it out, see that bee there, it's got like honey and that on its face.
Yeah.
So that one's just going to clean it off for it. That's what they do.
Oh wow.
That will clean it. That'll get
Yeah,
it
you
all
can
off.
see that.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
No, just that bee would just clean all that honey off of it. That's just where I've pulled it apart as such.
Come here a minute, mate.
It just gets really sticky. So then, like, this one's really light because she's all the larvae in there. See it all look what looks like maggots.
Yeah, yeah.
That soon get capped off, like this. That'll all soon get capped off.
Oh.
That was an egg, and then it's gone into the larvae and so forth.
And it would be a bee.
So it's good to see it like this because she's got what I call laying room. She's got plenty of room there to lay eggs. What you can get them honey bound, where there's just so much honey and she's left with no room to start laying eggs. And if that's the case, then they're going to want to start swarming because she literally has no place to lay eggs.
Oh, so that's what inspires the swarm.
It can do.
So like their programming is.
Yeah, they're like, well, she's got no room.
Population.
She's got to go. We've got to go and give her room to go and lay eggs. So there she is there, look. See her? With a green dot.
Oh yeah.
So that is the queen bee of this hive.
I've never seen a queen bee.
You might catch her, put her back end down in one of them combs and drop an egg in there. We watch her. She's looking around. Look, she's looking in there. And then, nope. She'll find one. She kind of just barges her way through. See if she goes in and drops an egg in one. She's going around the other side, and then she's going. This is what they do. They kind of know they're out, and they kind of go to the sides and try and hide from you. But what we do, we won't
Spot her a
bother her.
mile away, can't you, with that dot?
Yeah, we won't bother her too much. Now she's going around that side. What we do is, so you've got to be so careful with her, and we just put her in there and just keep that. We know she's in there, and then she'll just stay more than likely on that vicinity. Once you've kind of seen her, then it makes life so much easier just to go through. So now all I'd be doing now is just making sure that they're not building any queen cells or anything like that, threatening the fact that they want to go. So I could potentially, and see there's bits of newspaper in the bottom of there.
Yeah.
It's because I had to merge 2 hives together. To do that, obviously you can't just stick a load of bees in with a load of bees. They don't, you know, they fight, they won't like that. So you put a newspaper over the top, and you put that hive on top of the newspaper, and then the bees will all start eating the newspaper. And by the time they've got through the newspaper, because it takes them that long, they're kind of like, oh hello, they're just, all right mate, kind of thing, yeah. Like, and then they become basically friends. If you don't do that, then you can't do it, you know what I mean? You can't just put them in there. See, like this is going to be busting soon, because I've seen so much cat brood, which is this. There's so much of this going on. Soon this hive is going to be busting with bees like that one is there. So me doing what I wanted to do with that one, with these supers that I've taken out there, I'm not going to be able to. But I can just put them empty ones in it. It's not a problem. I mean, I could stop here with this one, because this is more than likely just going to be honey. They're just cleaning it all up, ready for her to start laying more eggs, which is good, because at least I know that she's got plenty of room in here for laying eggs. And what I could do is leave that one out. I could potentially, see these ones might be more of honey in it than eggs. So I could kind of shift them around and try and get the honey at the top, and then these empty cells down the bottom. So I'll just stick that on there for the time being. And I'll go through this one. Now this one, again, has 6 empty frames in it. I'll put in from this other hive. Now this here, what I should do with that really is start moving them about slightly. If I take that empty one out of there and put that one on the outside, because they're not doing anything with that. So if I put that one in place of it, let's start working on this one a whole lot more. And they just start capping that off completely, because that's what they do, they work from the middle out. And again, it's just, so they're just working on that, see it all shiny in there.
Yeah,
it's just lovely. All the nectar and all that in there. That'd just be all honey in that. So what I need to try and work out is what I want where and how. So see, this one's really heavy. Again, that's because they're just literally working on making that honey. If they've got honey, then once you've spun them, all you do is you put the empty one back in the hive, and they'll clean it all off for you, and then you could effectively take it out and store it. So again, they're just working on the honey on that. And if I had just one of these boxes with all honey on it, that'd be equivalent of what I've got what, 58 jars of honey out of it.
Really?
Yeah, and that'll just be one of these boxes.
It's a lot,
It was
isn't it?
just that I had 2 half boxes. Again, that was just working on making that honey. And you feel the weight of that. Got it?
Yeah, I've got it. Oh, sorry, I trapped your
That's
finger.
it. Feel how heavy that is.
Fascinating, isn't it?
It's just so heavy, isn't it, in weight?
Yeah.
And obviously when you've got all of them with all honey on it and you go to lift that one box up,
Yeah.
you imagine 11 of them at that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Need to eat your spinach.
The weather's meant to be banging this week, and that's what you need, really good weather. And they start thriving off of that. We'll just stick that on there.
So, do they,
That.
if these creatures that hibernate,
Ah?
how they, once the good weather stops and you come to the end,
Yeah, they
there's nothing
they kind of hibernate, yeah, to a certain degree. That hibernation is generally an animal that sleeps throughout the winter, so they don't sleep. But what she'll do is she won't lay. She start like now the summer solstice is gone. She starts laying less and less and less and less eggs. So right up to a point where, say you hit December, I don't think she lays anymore. She just stops, and she'll have X amount of bees in that one box, and all they do is they just keep feeding her, and they just do nothing really. But obviously, I'd have to do what's called a varroa check on them, and for any hive beetles or anything like that, it's certain strips. But that's not yet, because there's potential honey frames that I'm going to take out of there, and you can't do that treatment with them in. If you get what I mean.
Yeah.
So. Obviously we've seen the queen, she's all good and well, so, and there's plenty of action in there, so this is going to be busting with bees very soon. And then obviously when they hatch, all the bees that's down here that's guarding it and everything else, then they'll go out and start foraging, and the other foragers will then start to slowly die off. So when they come through, their lifespan's roughly 6 weeks.
Oh.
And they go through, when they're born, they go cleaning all the cells and all that for the queen to lay. Then they go into nurse bees, that if any of them come back injured or anything like that, they nurse them and what have you. Then they go down and start protecting the entrance from any intruders, and then they go out and start foraging.
So they all
And their last 2 weeks, yeah, they all play a role.
But
they can go back at any point. If like you had a forager that then needed to be a nurse bee, it's already done it, so it knows what to do. So it can come back and take that role up again if it wanted to. They're clever. And then their last 2 weeks of their life is going out foraging. Like if you look at some of these bees that come in, like this one here, I just missed him, and there.
Yeah.
Both its back legs, if you look at this one landing here, both its back legs have got pollen on it. It's just about to land. You might see another one come in. He's got them on there.
I saw the pollen.
He's here, he's flying around. He's got pollen on his back legs, or she has. They're all girls. Yeah, so there, and that's what they get off the flowers, and then that's what they take in. See, he's got on two clumps of it on the back legs, which is a good sign. See him again?
Yeah.
And that's a forager. She potentially could have been 3 miles away.
One.
She's come back in and she's given the hive the necessary stuff that it needs.
Oh, wow.
Clever stuff.
Really intelligent, aren't they?
They are, they're so clever. 8, 9, 10, 11. And it's essential that, see, when a hive is made, it's made with that certain amount of room with these. If you leave that out like that, they'll just keep building it out, building it out, building it out, and then all that comb just gets so out of hand, you can't start getting these out. So it's critical. You kind of keep them all buttoned up nice and tight, so that it only gives them that much room on every single one. because as you can see, like, they start building it out until they hit the next one, and it can get silly. You can't start struggling to get them out and what have you. So that's pretty much the check done on that one. That was.
So this is, you do this once a week.
I
on
wouldn't
each
need
hive?
to go into this now for the next 7 days. Literally wouldn't need to.
And what's a queen bee's lifespan?
Anything up to 3 years.
Oh, so average bees 6 weeks.
3 to 5 years she'll live. And if she starts not laying eggs as well as she does and what have you, what they'll do is, if she's not performing, they'll start doing new queen cells and they'll get rid of her. They'll just kill her off, they'll throw her out, basically. So this is effectively could have the queen up here because there's no queen excluder on here. So at any point here, we could see the queen. So I do have to be kind of careful. And this certainly needs that add-on because I can already see that they've got not enough room. And again, they could swarm even on this. Although she could come out here and lay eggs in that free space there.
Yeah.
But again, this queen in here will have a green dot on her because I marked her up. What I want to do is put that one over there out of the way, just to free up the room to go through them. Again, there's plenty of room in there, so I might not need to add another box on there just yet. Don't really want to do it too early. And this was a swarm out of my own hive. This is what I caught again.
This was the swarm I mentioned it to you.
I had a hive stood here. It was as big as that, and then they just swarmed out of it. I'd potentially probably never give them enough room, I reckon.
So do you mean you actually watched them go?
Yeah. I was stood where Harvey is, and they was just going and they're flying everywhere, and then you just follow where they go. I just followed them over to that tree. They all started landing in that tree, and then they moved down to the bush. So now, see this one here, that one there's a drone, so that's a male bee. You can see the difference in size between the worker and the male.
Yeah.
So a lot of difference. I mean, they do get bigger than that. Look at all the different colours of nectar in there. See all the different colours?
Yeah.
That's what they take off all the different range of flowers. But all, and that just eventually they just turn it into honey. And again on there, all the different colours in it.
So it's flower nectar essentially. So they bring, oh yeah, look, there's some orange there.
Yeah, it's all different colours.
Dark
Crazy.
one.
I ain't come across the queen yet, so.
My friend was telling me that honey, like real honey, is good for hay fever.
Yeah, local
I
honey.
never knew that. Yeah,
It's the best for hay fever, yeah.
That's fascinating, isn't it? If you consider what causes hay fever.
Yeah. So, where was it? So see that there? He's a drone. That's a male. That wouldn't sting you. They have no sting in them.
Ah.
And you can tell the difference. That's a drone, and these are the worker bees. And they're just in there doing nothing. They do absolutely nothing. All they're produced for is to go out and find queen bees and mate with them. And it gets soon, within the next few weeks, these bees start kicking them drones out anyway, because they're not needed. And literally start kicking them out. And this, I put a queen in there, thinking that I never had a queen in there, and then I found a queen in there. So, but she's not in this top box. So I'll get that other frame back in here, and I'll go into that bottom one. So that one's really busy, as you can see. It's got a lot of bees in that one.
You know, like when they come out and start buzzing around like they are now?
Yeah.
So I was really previous, I was scared of this moment. I thought it was going to be nerve-wracking, but it's all right, isn't it?
Yeah, they're just flying around you.
Not bothered, are they, about us?
Not overly, no, they don't really. They stick it down so much, look. They seal everything up.
Oh, they're great, aren't they?
Literally seal everything up. So now I should come across the queen in there.
I've known humans with this purpose.
And I've got to be really careful because I could potentially damage that queen when I pull her out. Now, she's not on there, but again, see all that cap brood on there where she's been laying eggs. So all the time as a beekeeper you see that sort of stuff, you know there's been a queen in there very recently.
So even if you can't find
you found that. When I went in there the other week, there was none of this. I couldn't see the eggs with my eyes. It's really hard to find. So that's why I went out and bought a queen, because I just was convinced there was no queen in there because I see no activity in there. And then the last time I went in there, I found her. Got her out, marked her up. She will have a green dot on her because I put the green dot on her. There she is there.
Oh yeah.
It won't bother her too much. And she's going back on there. She's going back onto the honey. Just put that one. So effectively I could potentially stop here now with this hive because I've seen her, but I do see the nectar on that, look, the pollen on that one. Just want to make sure that she's got enough room. There's loads that she's laid in there, full. All of that is full with the larvae. What I can see anyway. I'll just keep what I think. I'll probably go another week and then I might add that extra onto it, because obviously that's going to go soon. I might even do it now just to be on the safe side. And obviously what we got to remember is we're kind of stood over their entrance, so that you'll get a lot more flying around you for that reason. Yeah. So I won't bother this one too much now because they're starting to flying around quite a bit. It gets such tight squeeze to get them all in. What I'll do is I'm going to stick that on because I've got a lot of work to do to bring all these out. A lot of work.
It prevents them swarming.
Yeah.
See, learning to wait.
Because effectively this hive is only, if you was to put it into a hive, you would only have that one brood box capacity. That's all that would be. The simple fact, it's got six, so that's 12 frames. That holds 11, and now I've just introduced another 6. So it's not even a bottom box and a half a box, really, if you put it into a hive. But what I wanted, the whole reason why I'm not putting it into a hive, I do have a hive. I could put it into a hive, but like I say, she's going to start slowing down with eggs anyway, and you want it to be strong over winter. And I'll just hopefully keep them all in here for over the winter, and then obviously when the spring comes, I'd have to get them straight out because
would have missed them.
And then on these ones, I'd have to put that on it, which is a mouse guard, which would sit on the front of it. The bees can go through there, but they can't. The mice can't get through that.
This hive. That's how he captures the queen and marks her.
Put that over, get her in there like that, and then slowly bring that down until you've got her in the right place and she's trapped, and then you put the marker pen through there. It's just a pen like that, and then you just dot her and then let her go again. It's a little bit tricky. It's not as easy as, you know, I'll make it out to be. Trying to get her is a bit tricky. I'll stick this over here. And I didn't see the queen in there last time, so I want to hopefully get to see her this time. This hive is really busy. Really busy. Get a few wood lice, earwigs and that in there, but they don't really do anything. Again, see how they just stick everything down?
Yeah, I love that. Did you know bees did that? It's cool, isn't it?
It's like that, you know what I mean? Because they've got a vent. If they didn't want that, they'd just keep building it up until they didn't want it no more, and they'd cover it completely.
Yeah.
Obviously, they need the ventilation. But the trouble is, like now, this time of year, you get wasps trying to get in there, which is really annoying.
So.
Because they can smell the honey in here.
Oh, that's what the wasps want.
Look at that. That would be ready to put in the extractor.
Oh yeah.
I feel the weight in that one, and that's only a half a frame, but that would be completely ready to put in the extractor and spin off. And that's what you want. Like when I done it last time, I had something like 9 of them or whatever it was.
Oh really? Ready to cure that hay fever.
But where I've shuffled a lot of these around, see that one's got all the eggs on it, and
see it, yeah. And that one's darker.
That one's just got cat brood onto that one. But see, feel the weight in it. There's a lot of weight in that. And like I say, well, I want that spun, and it's all sticky and it's empty of its honey. I'll put it back in here, leave it for 2 days, bring it back out, and it'll be completely clean, completely spotless clean. Because they've just took it all off. Well, that one, I've just shifted them around. That's just got the eggs in it. Starting to cap that one off, which is really good. And this is what I'm hoping, that they're starting to cap all of these off. Starting to cap that one off. And I've got no threat of looking for the queen up here on this, because she can't get up here because the metal queen excluder is here. So this one and this one, you're trying to get pure honey out of. Although there is that with a cat brood, but that's just where I've moved this up myself. That's all that is. So and any that's not really worked on, like if you've got some on the outside, if that's not really worked on, what you can do is move that in and move one over. The closer it is in the middle, the more they'll work on it. So that's not quite capped off yet,
they're
but
middle focused.
they will be. And if you give them too much room, these are not buttoned up tight, and that's what they do. They build it out. See how thick that is?
Yeah.
It's because they've just been given too much room. And it's full, it's all shiny, look. It's nearly ready to cap off, but they won't cap it off until the moisture levels are right. And they're happy with the fact that the moisture levels are right. And I've got a ferractometer, I think it's called. And I dig it into there, and you look through it, and it'll tell you the water content. And if it's under 18, it's good to go. It means that honey's right. When I done it last time, if I do it in where it's not capped off, it's about 20, 21. So you can't spin it, it's not right. Although,
And they know.
You can have 10%. So basically, out of 11 frames, if you've got one that's not completely capped over, you could mix that in with the rest and probably get away with it. That's what they say anyway.
It's so cool that they know whether to cap it off or not.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
This week with the good weather, I reckon they're starting to cap all that off because it's full. You can see that they're all full.
Yeah, you can see that.
They're all full. It's just not at a point where the water level, or whatever, the content is just not right. That's completely done. Look. Other than that last bit there that they will do. But don't forget, this is the top box. So, the higher they get, the less is going to be worked on. As such. Again, that's just eggs. That's where I've moved it up. All this will hatch very soon, and then once that's empty, they just start filling it with and that's how you want it. You want it like a solid pattern like that. That's a real good queen laying pattern. That's what you want. You know what I mean? You don't want it all patchy. You want it solid. Again, that is. So there's probably, I've come across, 3, maybe 4 of them that are ready to be pretty much extracted. Well, that one's still got a little bit to go on it. Well, where that one's completely done, I'll just put that one to the end because the further I come in, the more they'll work on it. That one's got eggs on it, so that can go back there. I'll just put that in, putting that side closer because there's less on it. There's more done on that side, pretty much the same, but it doesn't matter. I'll just stick that in the middle. That's completely got the honey on it anyway, isn't it? So again, what I might do is put this one right on the end. And obviously when you're at this kind of point, when you're just looking through, beekeeping's relatively easy when it's just like this. It's when you come across problems with queen cells getting made and you've lost a queen and all that sort of stuff. Look, when I had to merge that one and stuff like that, that's when it all starts getting slightly tricky. For me anyway. It's just knowing how to shuffle them around, you know what I mean? Effectively. Yeah, they'll always work up and out from the middle. And see, because that's got quite a bit of honey in it, that is heavy. Yeah. That whole box, when you lift it off, is heavy. Right, so see where I was rushing the other day, I've left gaps in it like that. Now I shouldn't do that because luckily they haven't, but they would build that frame right out. You don't want them doing that. And again, there's no queen excluders on there, so there's no threat of me losing a queen or trying to find a queen. which speeds things right up. And it's not capped off, but that's not going to be far off. That's not far off.
Wow, you've got millions of honey coming.
Well, hopefully. I mean, you do have to leave them some as well. You know what I mean? Like that bottom box, whatever's in this one will be theirs. But I will also feed them like what's bacon's fondant over the winter period as well. What you don't want to do is starve your bees. And that's the whole reason why bees make honey. Because over the winter period, that's what they would feed off. Because obviously there's no flowers, there's no nothing.
I didn't know that.
And that's the whole reason why bees make honey.
And it just happens to also be
So they go
a
out.
miracle that it's good for us too.
Yeah, we take it, or we take large amounts of it, because they make so much of it. But they go out and they do all what this is what's called stalls. They store it all up, basically for the winter. Otherwise, I wouldn't survive, would they? Because I'd have nothing to eat. See, that's worked on so well. I can bring a few in, take this more to the back, or right at the back, because that's worked on really well, and use something that's not worked as well in the middle. Same with that one. Yeah. I can move that like right here. And any dead bees, like bees are really clean. Any dead bees or anything like that that's in this hive, they will clean them out. They will get them and they will get them out. Chuck them on the floor. There's always dead bees on the floor outside the hive because that's just them cleaning out. They're really, really hygienically clean bees. Again. So now I'll spin that way because that side's worked more than that side. And again, I'll just come next week-ish, you'd think a lot of these will start being capped over.
Yeah.
And these are just empty. And these are ones that I've previously pushed into the middle so that they work on it.
Find it relaxing, this
I
part.
think these was actually just bare frames, so they've actually built all this comb out. So after I'd spin it and then put it in and clean it, if I shook all them bees off, that's what I'd end up with. I was explaining to Hayley earlier, for me next year I'll have all of these frames that have all got this comb built out on them. So that gives the bees such a massive head start. Where I started this year with just plain, they've had to build all this out before they even start with anything else. So that's where all their work is. If you give them frames that's already framed out, then they're on it straight away. You know, the whole process is speeded up massively.
Ahead of the game.
Basically, yeah. It's crazy, isn't it? But that's the way that they
know where they want it.
That's the way that they work. So what I'm going to do now is lift the two off, so I've got them in the same order. Now this is when it gets heavy, when I do two at once. Really heavy.
Really surprised me that they make everything sticky and seal it.
Jesus! And that is why I do these in halves and not all big.
Yeah.
Because half is a lot lighter than big. So what I'm going to do is the same as what I've done a minute ago. I'll stick the queen that's glued on the top of that, which is going to be a bit of a nightmare because I haven't got a smoke in the smoker. And it sits. Be right. Yeah, I want to shake that. So we have a few bees flying around. It's little bits coming out. What I'll do is leave them on there actually instead of stay shaking them off. Here's a big old drone, that one. So what I do is I'm going to do what I've done before and put this one on there first, because potentially the queen could be in here, but it makes life a lot easier to do it like this. And this is why you've got to go in there to check that they need room and stuff. You know, see how they're... But it does make it hard, because obviously to get this out, get one of these out, it's very tricky, because they've taken up all of the room. And this queen could be on here at any point now, so... And I couldn't find her the other day and I was well annoyed. So... Yeah, it's busting the bees. Bear in mind I've already just taken that box off there that we haven't looked in. The queen could also be in. So it's the ones that fly around your face, like now, like this one. If I never had this on there, they'd sting me. Yeah, well, I'm in their house, aren't I? So all I do is get some smoke on these.
Which one?
And you watch it, you start seeing them all start disappearing down. See how it just clears them? It just makes it a little bit easier. Did I take that one out? Didn't I? Or did I?
Oh.
That's the stuff.
And see this one? It's all bobbly.
Yeah.
See how much more prominent that one is? That's the drones. That's them
And
making
that's why they're bobbly.
the male drone cells. Yeah, they all hang. They hang from frame to frame. And you think, at the moment, you've probably got a good quarter of this hive, bees are out foraging right now. So at night, this is even more in here. No, they're not a lover of the smoke. But I also don't have any kind of queen cells emerging. Generally, they do them at the bottoms, or you get what's called a superseder, where there's called an emergency queen cell that they would build, and that'd be off the side of the frame.
Whoa, look at that one. They're all hanging off the bottom.
A lot of these, isn't it? And you can see the new ones because they're all fluffy. The queen in this one's got a red spot because she was last year's queen, where the others this year are green. This one in here's got a red spot. So
Comes in there a different colour.
these frames are, yeah, because these are the ones that when I originally started and I bought the bees, these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 frames was in a little nuke box, and that's why they're a lot browner, because they was from last year. They've been all over the winter and what have you. Plenty of cat brood on there, but no sign of the queen again. There is larvae there, so we know she's been laying. So she's definitely in there somewhere. Just finding her.
I've seen some bees.
And I don't need to do, obviously, them, because I've checked that, so you know, they can do what they want to do. There she is. Can you see her with a red spot?
Yeah, I've got her.
Oh yeah, I got her.
Well, she's an A1 buckfast queen for a start, and they're just bred really good. And because they're bred so well, you can see they're just banging out eggs. Boof, boof, boof. She's, you know, she's just filling hives. You know, I've had like, well, all of this is through her, and she's still busting out hives like this. You know what I mean? That queen in there is her daughter, and potentially the queen in there is her daughter. I'm not 100% sure where that swarm come from, because I didn't see it come out of mine. Now she has got a bit of laying room there, and this is now what I'm looking for as well. She needs room to lay more eggs, and again there's quite a bit of room there as well for her to lay, so that's, for me, that's a good sign, because if she ain't got no room, then we're asking for trouble. I'm just hoping there's more room in them ones as well. All just play cups up there. That's them practicing on making queen cups. We won't worry too much about that. She's been laying all in there. And see the little ones cleaning them out. Head down in there and they're just cleaning them all out. She's laid larvae in most of them. I'm going to spin that one around.
On top there where they're building the foam.
Yeah, they build it wherever they can build it. They're crazy for it. Try and squeeze this one in. Like so. Smoke that down so I can get the next box on there without squashing too many. You're always going to squash bees, there's no getting away from it half the time.
Why don't they like the smoke?
You know,
Why don't they like the smoke?
Well, it's the same reason we don't. Smoke in your eyes and that starts stinging, doesn't it? But what they say is it does, it's because the queen in here, she gives out pheromone. And the pheromone that she gives out is what the bees understand that she's there. So if, or when you smoke it, it cancels that pheromone out, apparently, or something along them lines, and it just distracts them, disorientates them, and they just want to run away from it. But if you had smoke in your face, you'd be the same, wouldn't you? It's the same with the bees. Yeah, because it does. I've smoked myself out many a time. So we know the queen's down the bottom. That's a good thing. And then if I smoke these, I might push some of these down that bottom. And I haven't got to deal with the fact that I've got loads of bees. Like I say, if I'd done this one first, they would have moved down there. I would have moved that over there. Then I would have had even more bees in there to contend with. Which doesn't make life easy. Really, I want... So that's capped off honey there. What I potentially might do, depending on how many of these have got honey on them, I will shift them about. And again, look at all the different colour nectars and that in there. See all the different colours?
Yeah.
That's all the different flowers.
Excellent.
Different range of flowers.
That's wonderful. That's so pretty.
I did not know
Babe,
that.
can you see this?
Yeah.
All the different colours, look,
Yeah,
you know,
from different
Look at that.
flowers.
It's completely different.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. What they do is, they are pains because they do things like that. Take up every bit of room that they can get.
Yeah, I noticed that with the other box, they're all sitting against the wall.
Yeah. Now, there's not saying, I've still got to be careful because that queen could have quite easily come up and gone into this now, even though we've seen her down the bottom. So I can't go, oh yeah, I've seen the queen down the bottom. That's okay, because it's not. She still might come up whilst I'm looking at these now. There's nothing saying that she's come up and she's got onto one of these. So I've still got to be vigilant of that queen, you know what I mean? Just really checking that she's got room to lay eggs still, which she has. It has to be completely empty for her to lay an egg in there. Like these have got pooling with nectar, so that would stop her. And it's not heard of. Some hives do have two queens. They will, you know what I mean? They will run with two queens. Very, very unusual, but they do it. So that's good. There's loads of room for her to lay. So that's happy days for me. So with all this cat brood that's still emerging on all of these, you think like in the next couple of days that's going to emerge. These bees is just going to get even more and more and more. Well, even though she should start not laying as many. In the height of the summer, she's laying up to 2,000 eggs a day. 2,000 eggs. It's a lot of eggs, isn't it? And that's just pure honey on there. Completely pure honey.
How many cones on one of them then,
Hey,
Danny? How many cones is on one of them?
you want to feel the weight of that? They won't sting you because you'll be alright with no gloves. You just feel the little weight of that.
Quick cow.
It's heavy, isn't it, for a small thing of
That's only
bees?
half of one.
Yeah, it's just, you know, the weight of it. Yeah. And when you get 12, 11 of them in one of these little boxes, that's bloody heavy. And see, like this one where they've had the room, how wavy it is
Oh, wow,
Oh, yeah,
yeah.
and how bulgy it is because they've just had the room to bring it out.
Doing what they need to do, yeah.
They put cones on the box as well,
Yeah,
on that side.
yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's what's there will fit into here. It's like a jigsaw. So always
Is
make
it
sure that that
really?
one will go back because what? Yeah, I mean I could scrape that off. Don't get me wrong, but I'm not going to. I'm just going to put that back in So that bit there will fit in that bit there and what have you. Do you know what I mean? It's a bit like a jigsaw. I could break all that down, but I'm not going to. I'll just make sure that that one goes back where it came from. Even there's not a lot of smoke, they still, if I blow on them, they move. Right, you don't want to move, do you? I won't have to move you. Queen excluder on that. Don't make that mistake. Oh, and that's where I do need to blow them down because they get trapped under that. Oh look, I've got some pines from a pine tree. So I've got a pine tree over the back there. And they'll start dropping off there soon.
Yeah.
So I'll collect them, the big pines, dry them right out, and then you drop these in there and it keeps it going longer.
Oh, I saw you pick those up before.
Yeah, I had a couple in there that I got from a job. I dried them out and then I put them into here. 10 minutes. Who? Yeah, it'll be 10 minutes. I'm just putting it back together now, if that. I've been through them all. If you want. Yo, Jesus Christ, that is so heavy. It's unbelievable. Probably shouldn't really do it like that. I should do it.
You've got big muscles.
Jesus Christ, it's just unbelievable. Although I've got that super there, there's no point putting that on. They've got enough to work with. Maybe the next time, in a week's time, 7 days when I come out to this now, I'll may need to use that down there on this hive. This thing here on the top, if I trapped, say I've had a bee in there like I have there, and they got trapped in there, when I put this lid on, they can go in there and it'll go back into the hive, but they can't come out that way and through the top. It's a one-way thing, which you should really use if you want to get all the bees off of your frames on your supers. If you're going to harvest them and they're all ready, you can put that above that board. What they do is they go down onto the board through that catcher, and then they can't come back up. So then you've relieved all the bees off of your frames. I mean, I didn't, I just brushed them off. But that's what that's designed to do. So they go down and they can't come back up, and then your frames are empty of bees.
Oh, I just saw one with loads of pollen on its back legs. Looked like a pair of leggings was on. And then you go raving.
Yeah.
Slinky and all that.
And that's basically that.
Amazing stuff.